Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this video. So in this video, I'm just going to go over top 10 units that I think do need to either have new units or just be buffed in general, right? So, yeah. Grand Cross has been out for almost 2 years now on JP, and we have not had buffs for the characters that I'm about to go over, or we haven't had new variations of these characters. So I don't know, maybe they just don't want to buff these characters, or they have something planned for them. But regardless, I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with the first character. So the first character actually might surprise some of you, and that's Meliodas. So Captain Meliodas hasn't had a new card since the game released. This is, and still to this day, the only Captain Meliodas in the game, right? Green counter Meliodas is still the only Captain Meliodas in the game. I don't know what they're thinking. They haven't added a new variation of Captain Meliodas. I don't know why. They literally could add you know, the version from the Prisoners of the Sky movie, right? They could add that. They could add, you know, when they have the final fight against Hendrickson. They can add, you know, a couple variations of Captain Meliodas. Even the one from the training cave with Jenna and in the Zanari, right? So they could add that as well. I don't know why they won't add a new Captain Meliodas. I'm genuinely curious, right? But this card, he's still like decent for PvE. If you really want to use him, he can be decent. It's just his skills are just like kind of outdated. I'm not gonna lie. The counter only really does big damage if you only have a little bit of HP, which nowadays isn't really that crazy. And also his passive skill isn't the best, right? It just increases his crit chance by the ratio of his diminished HP. So they really do need a new variation of this Meliodas, right? We have Lost Vein. We have, you know, Assault Mode. We have Demon Meliodas. We just have one version of Captain Meliodas. I don't know what they're doing or what they're planning, but we'll see what happens, you know, in the future. But they definitely do need another variation of this character. But yeah, the second character I'll go over, right? I know a lot of people would literally die to have this character in the game. Bond, a new Bond. For, you know, just everybody in the comments, yes, Purgatory Bond, right? Purgatory Bond would be nice, but I don't know how close we are to getting him. We only have these bonds, right? These are the only bonds in the game, and they all suck. They all kind of suck. You know, these brawler bonds, you want to call them, right? They're not that great. The red SR bond isn't really that good. Actually, he's not gonna like really at all. He's good for reverse stages, but that's really about it. Green Nunchuck Bond, outdated. Red Nunchuck Bond really has no place, and Blue Nunchuck Bond you could use in Red Demon, although there's pretty much like better options you could use nowadays, right? So really, none of these bonds have a place in the game. Not even talking about PvP, they just have no place in the game in general. So we do need another bond, right? Purgatory Bond will be perfect. Make him, you know, very strong. You don't gotta make him broken, but make him very strong. You know what I mean? It would definitely do justice for my boy Bond, because they have not treated him good in this game at all. I do not know what they were thinking. The start of the game, this Bond was just top tier, cream of the crop, right? Now he's bad. Just point blank period, he's bad, right? So yeah, they definitely need a new Bond. The third character is definitely Diane. Diane definitely needs a new card, right? She definitely needs one. We have two variations of her. We have the giant forms, and then we have the small versions. So they could add either or. I don't know what they would do for another small variation of Diane, but it would be nice if we did, because really, we only use the green fighter one. The red and blue one are really just used for links. Maybe training cave, but really just the green one's pretty much the only useful one in the game right now. The big giant, the big giant Diane, right? Now, keep in mind, this is Mercenary Diane, right? So Mercenary Diane is SR, and then you have the variation of Diane's, which are, oh my god, I cannot type today. Then you have the other variants of Diane, which are Holy Knight Dianes, right? So keep that in mind. But yeah, so we definitely need a new version of her. That would be very nice to have. maybe just make a DPS one. I don't know what they could do, but we definitely need one. Maybe the next one that comes out is actually gonna be when you know, she gets the green outfit on at the end of the series. So maybe that could be the next Diane. I don't know. But yeah. So another character that, you know, I was just thinking about is Dreyfus. Dreyfus actually needs a new card. I'm not talking about you know, I'm not talking about Fraudrin. I'm talking about Dreyfus. Like, actually Dreyfus. He needs an SSR. He doesn't even have an SSR, right? He needs a new card in general. Because these SRs really aren't that impressive. You can use them for reverse stages, but that's really all they're used for, right? That's it. I mean, maybe at the start of the game, they actually weren't too bad, but what are you gonna do now with SR Dreyfus? Like, you can't do anything. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. His passive's I'm not gonna lie, right? Increases the pierce rate to 200%, you know, of allies' value, but it's not good. It's not really good for current meta in PvP. You're not gonna use him in PvE, right? He does remove buffs. If this was an AOE remove buffs, he actually probably may be kind of relevant, but otherwise, he doesn't really do anything, right? He does do what Dro does, disable buff and debuff skills on rank 2 and 3, but he's just literally like a worse version of Droll. So I mean, yeah, it's just he needs a new card, man. I would love a Dreyfus, an SSR Dreyfus that increases like human stats, right? Human basic stats by 20% or 25% or something like that. I would love one that, you know, is a support type character, even has a little bit of DPS action going on. Something, just something. Give my boy Dreyfus some love. But yeah, new card for him would be very nice. Another character, Elaine. So Elaine is very, very like just so bad in this game. She's just very bad. All her cards are legit support. No Elaine in the game is tanky, no DPS. They're all support. They either help the team decrease, you know, like opponents' cards, cancel buffs on their ultimates, or, you know, something. They tried to make a DPS / support with Golden Wings Elaine. That was an absolute atrocity. They should not have done that at all. They literally should have just made her a very good red DPS character. Instead, they went the path of trying to make her support Festival King, and that just that just went so bad. Like, that did not work out for her. So unfortunately, my girl has one of the worst cards in the game in Golden Wings Elaine. She is just terrible, right? Just absolute terrible. Now, her ultimate actually isn't the worst when you have DOT debuffs on the enemies. It's actually not that bad. But this what? Like having corrosion? Come on now. I understand she was trying to proc her passive. What? And then she has this. It's just not good. They did my girl so dirty. They did Elaine so bad. We definitely need a new Elaine. They need to do her justice. But yeah, Gilthunder, right, is another unit that does need a new card, or just buff his red card or something. But a new Gilthunder would be nice, because we've had these 3 basic Gilthunders since the start of the game. There has been literally no other guilds. So give us an event Gilthunder, right? Give us, like, I don't know, a Halloween Gilthunder this year who is very powerful. Maybe have him have a charge, you know, a charge skill 2 that hits everybody. Make him buff red units only if he's another red Gilthunder or something like that, or blue units or something. Make him good. Make him usable but good. Don't make him broken. But Netmarble just likes to make broken characters to sell, right? They just like to sell. That's their gimmick, but a Gilthunder would be very nice. Now, Hauser as well. Hauser's on that list too. My boy Hauser, actually the whole trio is on the list, because since the start of the game, we've only had these 3 basic Hausers, and then we also had only these 3 basic Griamores. And I don't understand why they're so hesitant to make new versions of these characters. Like, are we gonna get a update for a banner and have all 3 of these like trios you know, new, like a new Griamore, Hauser, and Gil all at the same time? I mean, I'd like that. I'm not gonna lie, I would like that, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that we will. But just make them good. Maybe they all could just be used together. I would even take that, right? Like, they're not good separate, but together they're like they're like broken, basically, right? Because they will all do something that benefits each other. I take that at this point. I take anything. I would literally take anything to get new versions of these characters. But we'll see what Netmarble does. I really hope they do bring back Hauser and Griamore, right? Really hope they do. But yeah, Helbram. Now Helbram, I'm not really too concerned about because Helbram isn't really that important of a character. Not gonna lie, but they could make a new version of this Helbram, right? They could make a new version of this Helbram. I guess they One Eye Authority, whatever, right? They could make a new version. This version of Helbram, I believe, is the one where he is facing Meliodas, right? When he first goes berserk and shows his demon mark. I think that's the version of the Helbram that's in the game right now. But we could have one where he's versing King, you know, before he fights Meliodas. We could have one when he's inside, you know, Leones or something like that. So we could get a new version of this one-eyed, you know, authority Helbram. That would be very nice. As far as these Helbrams go, though, I think it's over for, you know, them unless they give us an event version. But there's still story mode variants of this Helbram right here that we could get, right? So that'd be nice. And last but not least, Hendrickson. Now Hendrickson, I know people are gonna be like, but what do you mean? We have a demon Hendrickson. I'm talking about base. I'm not talking about demon. I'm talking about base Hendrickson. Base Hendrickson definitely needs a new card. I think he is worthy of having a new card, right? Because this Hendrickson is only for when he fought against you know, I think it's the 7 Deadly Sins closer to the end of season 1. Because this move right here, he used this on, man, if memory serves me right, he did actually use this on Dreyfus, I believe, right? To completely like try and crumble him or something like that. And then this is like just a basic simple slash, right? So he could have a new variant where he is basically fighting against what is it, Arthur and Meliodas. He could have a variant of that, right? So that could be another base Hendrickson that we have where he's just fighting against you know, what is it, Arthur, Meliodas. He could have one where he's fighting against Meliodas and Gilthunder. He could have one where he's just straight up facing, you know, all the 7 Deadly Sins. Because technically, they're like, he starts off like this, but then when you awaken him, he turns it into like with the demon mark on him. So I don't know how they're gonna do the next variant of this character, but however they do it, they better make him good because it's about damn time we get him, right? But as far as that goes, that's pretty much like my top 10. Let me know what units you want to get new variants / upgrades. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say, but that's gonna be it for the video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, you guys already know. I will see you all next time.